My work, in every form that it takes, is continuously attempting to heal the existential rift between humans and nature. Even the word nature itself creates a separation between humans and non-human life and landscape. It is a painful, self-inflicted mutilation that severs us from the ecological balance, the interconnected organism that comprises all life on Earth. Sandbags Body Bags is a project that envisions sandbags as bodies, evoking the stark reality of flooding, erosion, and rising oceans due to climate chaos and other human-driven phenomena. The hand-sewn sandbags are given a vague but unmistakable human body-like form so as to unsettle the viewer. The forms simultaneously evoke sandbags, objects meant to protect or fortify within disaster, and bodies, the apparent result of disaster, but also, perhaps, the cause of it. As part of the labor performance of this artwork, the Sandbags Body Bags were earth-dyed at flood sites and sites threatened by flooding in the greater Wellington region. The ritual of visiting these sites, the material communion with dirt and water, is meant to acknowledge the traumas of flooding, the cause and effect, and rekindle the implicit connection between body and land. Maybe the original act of violence humans inflicted upon themselves was to separate themselves from nature, and it is this severance that has given rise to dominance-based, exploitative, and extractive practices, which themselves become a means of hierarchy, power, and privilege. There is a mirroring, a reciprocity to the life of our planet, including our human lives. When there are imbalances, everything is affected. What happens to us as a species happens to all life on Earth. When we inflict harm on each other, we harm the Earth. When we harm the Earth, we inflict harm on each other. Colonizers and enslavers exploited both human and non-human life with the righteous view that they were other. In fact, that the people they could control or own were considered people of the Earth. What a grave and horrifying error, to devalue those people who understood that humans are extensions of nature, who listened to the nonverbal languages that have communicated long before our species walked these lands. In the labor performance of carrying and stacking the Sandbags Body Bags, my art practice of bearing witness to how the cycles of our planet are transforming becomes an embodied practice. The weight becomes literal, the loss becomes material, and the surreal aspect of what we face globally becomes a tangible reality, even if just for a moment. The meditative aspect of the repetition of carrying the Sandbags Body Bags allowed me to be present with the physical discomfort of the process. And I thought about the privilege of avoiding discomfort, how our westernized cultures teach us to avoid discomfort at all costs. But those of us that have the privilege to avoid discomfort do so at the expense of those who have no such privilege. My comfort relies on the discomfort of humans and histories that have been kept hidden, and also at the discomfort of the planet and of non-human lives. What a privilege it is to choose to be uncomfortable as a form of performance art. And yet there's something really powerful about using my body this way, and the physical reality, the hardship of the circumstance. To feel it in my body makes it real for me in a way that is deeply complex and yet utterly simple. The intention that I set out for this endurance performance and art installation was to foster awareness for the fundamental precariousness of our cities in the face of climate chaos, to be jolting, to leave an impression that inspires conversations around mitigation and adaptation, ultimately avoiding the outcome that the Sandbags Body Bags project implies. I think it was successful in these ways, but for me the process of its creation also revealed the gray areas of trauma and tragedy and transformation. What does catastrophe look like? And what is the cost of looking away?